to seek the truth about which all the scriptures have described. All the scriptures have said that you are to be born again. You are to be born, not to read about it, not to just imagine that you are born again, not to just believe that you are born again, or any artificial ritual that certifies that you are born again is to be accepted, but something definitely has to happen within us. Some experience of reality must take place within us. It's not just an idea that it is so, yes, we are born again, now we are chosen ones, we are the best people. But it's something, definitely there's something that evolutionary should manifest within us, has been predicted by all the scriptures. No exception at all. Right from Hinduism up to the most modern personality, we can say, is the new Guru Nanaka, we can say, is the one who wrote a scripture. In the Quran, it is very clearly said that you have to become the Peer, the one who has the knowledge. Veda itself says that by reading the Vedas, Veda means to know. If you do not know, then it is useless. In the first chapter, in the first stanza, it's so clearly said there that you have to know. Something has to happen to our awareness which does not know. That means we are so far away from the knowledge. And that something has to happen to our awareness by which we will know more. This knowledge is the pure knowledge of the science of divine laws, of the divine powers. It has been said that is divine power, all-pervading power, the grace of God all around us. Now, if I give you a big lecture on this, every week I can give a lecture, there's a divine power here. Oh, what a great thing it is. Like the other day, one gentleman came to see me and he said, oh, I am a realized soul. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I am a realized soul. I said, really? And I am in the divine power. Ha, 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 ha. Then he said, it is the divine power I am feeling. Ha, 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 ha. I started looking at him. I said, whom is he befooling? He is befooling himself. Who is at a loss? It is he. It is nobody else. I mean, he is not befooling me by any chance. Even if I am a fool, no use befooling. It is he who is befooling himself. He is cutting the branch on which he is standing. He is not understanding that his own personality is not worth befooling. And he was on and on for half an hour before me. And I didn't know what to tell. Because what can you talk to such blind people? Those who are blind know they are blind and profess they have eyes. They are the most dangerous people to themselves and to the society. Because once they believe in such a nonsense, they want everybody to believe in that. Some of them could be genuine fools, some of them could be sinister people. So it's an experience that has to take place within you. You are not to believe me either on this point. Like I may say, oh, this is it, and say maybe I may create a big scene. That's not the thing that is going to help us at all. We are the seekers of truth, and unless until we find it, why should we be satisfied with anything whatsoever? So here we are to find out the truth. And the truth is very simple. It is so very simple that it's not possible to believe in it, that you are the part and parcel of the whole and you have to feel the whole. That's what you are seeking. All you are seeking from amoeba stage to this stage has been this simple seeking, is to become the part and parcel of the whole, which you are already, but to know that you are. To know. So to know means in your awareness you should feel that you are the part of the whole. Once you become the whole, you do not seek anymore. If that seeking is completed, you do not seek anymore. I think today is very warm. Can you open some of the doors? Since I have come, it has become so warm. I don't know. So the main thing one has to learn that you are not to be dissuaded by any talk, by any miracle so-called, by any tomfoolery. But the basic happening must take place. Now this happening has been planted within us since we were amoeba. Like a seed sprouts into a tree, today we are at a stage where we are human beings. And this stage is just a transitory one to jump into another stage where you become that knowledgeable personality. Because that stage is so close, that's why you are seeking very ardently. Now to talk of God in this age of science is impossible. But scientists, when they will know there is a knowledge beyond their human understanding, and when they get that awareness within themselves, then only they will know that whatever they have known so far has been of no value. That's why all these endeavors, all these so-called manifestations of human intelligence and all that, has led them into confusions, into problems. They don't know what to do with themselves. There's an atomic war on top of their heads. There's another shock on their heads. They don't know what is going to happen in the future. Despite all their good wishes and benevolence, they have not been able to achieve any blissful state for us. Now, if I say there is God, yes, there is. And there is that blissful state within us which we have to achieve by becoming one with the whole. You don't have to believe me, but don't deny. Within us lies that pure desire, absolutely that unmanifested desire within us, which in Sanskrit language is called as Kundalini. And this is lying in the triangular bone in 3.5 quarts. Now, in the process of SahajaYoga, you will see the pulsation of this Kundalini with your naked eyes. That the pulsation rising. You can also feel the pulsation on top of your head, about which many great saints have written very openly. Especially one of the latest, Kabira, has described it very, very clearly. In the 6th century, Adi Shankaracharya has described it. Even in the Bible you find the description, but in a little mysterious way, because people were so funny that you couldn't tell them anything straight on. As it is, you know what happened. Everything that has happened on this earth has a divine plan, especially all the advents of people, like Christ coming on this earth. Moses taking people away from slavery. Krishna's advent on this earth. Rama's coming on this earth as a benevolent king. All these things have given us a special power within ourselves. These powers are all dormant. They are dormant, we can say they are sleeping. Just like some candles which are not yet enlightened. When the Kundalini rises, she enlightens these powers within us. So, this pure desire that is within us to be one with the whole, this connects us to the whole. Not only that, but it awakens all those deeper powers within us which are yet not awakened. Today, I want to tell you about Christ's powers, which has never been before talked about. Because those people who talked about Christ never knew this. They were not realized souls. They were just ordinary human beings. And even those who are talking about Christ are not realized souls. They are talking without having any knowledge as to this subtle side of Christ. Christ resides within us in this evolutionary process, in that crossing point. His deity is placed there. Now, this was not placed after Christ came in. It was placed much before, when human being was created. And then he incarnated on this earth. Now, this deity was specially created to cross that point, that door, into the kingdom of God, which is the Sahasrara, is the 1,000 petals, that round place which is open, called as limbic area. On the gross level, it is called as limbic area. And he was specially created for a very special job, which was never interpreted by people. When the deity of Christ is awakened within us, what does he do? It is said that he died for our sins. Everybody says, Christ died for our sins, so you become Christians, so he has died for us and everything is fine. You are not a Christian unless and until you are baptized. You are not a Jew unless and until you are baptized. Now, what is the baptism are we having? Do we really get the awakening of Christ within us? Do we get the awakening of Moses within us? Do we get the awakening of Sri Krishna within us? If so, we do not have those powers. When this deity is awakened within us, it is said that he died for our sins. In India, we had a long theory of karma. That was at the time of Krishna has described that whatever karmas you do, accordingly you are born, accordingly you suffer. This theory was at the time of Krishna, who was about 6,000 years back. So by this, they wanted to tell people that you are build up your karmas and you will suffer accordingly. The sufferings are due to the past bad behavior or anti-God behavior of human beings. But they found the human beings were just the same. When Moses brought Jews away from there, they were just the same. When Krishna preached, nothing happened to them, they were just the same. They would not look after their karmas. They were not bothered about their karmas. and they suffered. In their ignorance they suffered because they did not believe in those incarnations. They did not believe in any incarnations whatsoever. So they continued with what they were doing, going against their sustenance, against their dharma, against their human benevolence. So something had to be done by which one could create an instrument which would absorb those karmas once for all. That's how Christ was created. With very great effort, with very great understanding of human problems. To incarnate on this earth as an ordinary human being. And when he resurrected himself, he showed by his life that spirit is eternal. That's what Krishna told. That spirit is eternal. Somebody had to prove it, that it is eternal. And Christ proved it, that it is eternal. So far, till Christ came in, all the powers of the incarnations were expressed as their personal powers. As their personal powers. Means the goddess, she came on this earth to kill demons. Krishna came on this earth to kill demons, to tell them what is right and wrong. Moses came on this earth to save people. But we needed somebody who would take away the sins, who would pardon the people, who would go on this earth as an embodiment of forgiveness. To forgive the erring human beings who were so ignorant, with that love and compassion. Not to show off his great powers, which he has still, but just through his compassion and forgiveness, to absorb the sins of these people. And this deity was placed long time back within us, who incarnated as a human being on this earth. But we never recognized him. Can you imagine? Now we have so many thousands of SahajaYogis all over the world. Can you imagine? There was not a single person who really, but for his mother, really understood. Till he got his resurrection and then all started saying, ah. Till then nobody would believe. Not like you. But it's all right, because they were not realized. So even that is forgiven. That's why he said that anything against me will be tolerated. Because he knew people were not realized. But after realization, after getting your enlightenment, if you do not recognize God, then he is not going to forgive. Imagine, the ocean of forgiveness has denied his forgiveness. That would be the greatest crime and the sin, not to recognize God after realization. Now he came on this earth to absorb the sins of the people. When the Kundalini rises, and if this Agya opens out, which is a very difficult thing, for others I've seen it's very much difficult. But in SahajaYoga today, it has become really easy to awaken Christ. And the sins get lost, completely absorbed. There's no karmas left. There are many people still flouting this idea of karmas. They are still harping on that. Because when Christ came on this earth and did all these miracles, and when he told them that he's dying for the sins of the people. And they knew this. They said it. They started preaching about it. They took Christ like a book. They used him so wrongly. They never interpreted what it meant. That after becoming a realized soul, when you are born again, as he said, you have to be born again. He said it again and again, these things. I must tell you, I went to America in 73. And when I was talking, they were all taping me. And people told me that you should not allow them to tape you. Must have some sort of a, what do you call that, patent or something. I said, what? It's very difficult. And they taped me. They said, they will be printing all this as a good material then. Let it go. It's a very good thing. After all, for realization, they have to come to SahajaYoga. Kundalini awakening, that has to happen, but let them talk about it. So actually, human beings are so wonderful. They know how to make mess of everything. They created organizations called Twice Born. Because I said, you have to be born again. They said, all right, we have an organized Twice Born. And these self-certificated people are all around, quarreling with me, you see. And they said, this we got it from America. And there are many like these, you see, who believe in this or that. And they have formed organizations. By forming organization, you are not going to be born again. It's a living process. It's a living thing. You cannot just brand somebody you are born again. You cannot brand someone. It has to happen. But all right, whatever has happened to them will come round very soon. So, the principle of Christ, when it is awakened within us, all our karmas are absorbed. What a wonderful thing it is. Just think of it. Just think of it. No more sins. The past sins are lost. Every sin. And when the Kundalini pierces Agya, you really become thoughtlessly aware. Absolutely thoughtlessly aware. This happens to you. Not that because I say you should believe it. But it happens to you. You yourself should find out. And when the Kundalini pierces the fontanelle bone area, means when you really get your baptism in the real sense of the word. When it pierces through, then you start feeling the cool breeze in the hand flowing. It's a happening for which you cannot put in any effort. But then to keep this deity alive, you have to do something about it. That furthermore you do not commit sins. Your sins are finished at the point when the Kundalini rises and Christ is awakened. But keep him awakened. In the beginning it happens, I have seen, that you take two old things again and he sleeps off. You have to keep him happy. And the methods which are employed to keep them happy is called as Shuddha Vidya or Nirmala Vidya, means the pure knowledge. Because once the attention is enlightened, it's not like this light. Of course, it has certain powers. When there is light, we can see all this clearly. You start seeing clearly all your centers within yourself, and you can see the centers of other people by feeling them on your fingers. This is the minimum of minimum that happens. But you'll be amazed when these powers are properly raised within us. You get an awareness by which, if you pay attention to anything, it acts. Your attention acts. This is what is called as really Nirmala Vidya. It's the one where the attention starts acting by itself. You pay attention to something. You just think of it and it works. Normally your attention is nothing, but wherever is your desire or wherever you want to go, you can go with your attention. But it doesn't act anywhere. It doesn't report anything to you. You pay attention to someone you want to know about. And you get connected with that person and you know what's the matter with that person. So first of all, because the Kundalini spreads in the brain, you get the awareness enlightened. First, that has to be established, that the attention becomes enlightened and that it becomes active. Active not in the wrong way, always on the right side. Whatever it does is good. It is good. Good for your spirit. There's a Sanskrit word for that, is hitakari. All your decision making becomes very easy. Because if you use your vibratory awareness, immediately you know that this is the right, this is the wrong. You can feel it on the vibration. Because now you are connected with the Absolute, with your spirit. And you know what is to be done, what is not to be done. But realization is something like jumping from death to life. The attention that was acting like dead becomes alive. Every particle of it. So it's a tremendous change within you. And to establish that tremendous change, you have to have patience and understanding. Those who have shown that patience and understanding have achieved that establishment very well. Those who have not shown that understanding have again gone back to as it is position. I am here in no way to form any cult or anything. No way to get any money or any such nonsense. I am here to make you that knowledgeable personality which you can be very easily. Someone has to do it. You can do it tomorrow. There were 2 people who went to Australia and they got 1,000 people realized. In India there's one gentleman who got 10,000 people realized. You all can do it yourself. First of all, you have to establish yourself. It is easy to doubt something. You should doubt. There's nothing wrong in doubting. But one should know that I have nothing to gain. See, there are so many fake people, so many money makers, and so many misleading personalities that when you come to me, it is going to be that way, I know. But also think that you have come here for seeking. There's nothing to lose. But if you get this experience, this is what you are seeking for ages. And you are born on this earth in these modern times when this SahajaYoga has started. But it works slowly. You have to get it. There is no way of enlisting you as a SahajaYogi. There's no way. It has to happen. I cannot have you on the register or something like that. Put down your names, all right, these are the SahajaYogis. You cannot just do it. If it has not happened to you, you are not there. You have to be there. If you are not there, you are not a realized soul. You have to have it. So we cannot behave the same way as the others do. The other day some SahajaYogis asked me that whether they are used to courses, that first day you do this course of pulling your nose, second day pulling your ears, and third day pulling your chins. There's nothing like that in SahajaYoga, a course. Now I have to tell you that this is a living process. It's something very different. There is nothing like a course, because whatever you have to achieve, you achieve through your Kundalini awakening. And you realize it, that from thoughtless awareness we jump into doubtless awareness. It's an awareness, a state which is built within us. How can there be a course for it? There cannot be any course as such, but of course you can learn about Nirmala Vidya. You can learn how to awaken your deity. You can learn how to raise your Kundalini. You can learn how to raise the Kundalini of others. The another point which might upset some of the people who come for the first time, I've seen it has happened, that There could be some people among here who call themselves SahajaYogis but are not up to the point. Because the door is open to everyone to come in. All kinds of people come in. Some of them may proclaim that they are SahajaYogis, they may try to misbehave. But that doesn't mean that's something wrong with SahajaYoga, but the person has not achieved that stage. So there is nothing to be upset with people who behave like that. You should say, he'll be all right. They get all right afterwards, no doubt. We have people who are coming directly from lunatic asylum. Don't be frightened, but we had people. I don't know if there's somebody like that today. Directly from lunatic asylum, one lady came to see me in Leeds. And when she went back, they said, we don't need you here now. You're all right. But now such a person comes in. If you meet that person, he'll say, oh, I'm a SahajaYogi, I'm this, I'm that. And you are not to believe such a person. You have to believe in your achievements and not the achievements of other people. This is what the SahajaYoga is. While in an artificial place, they create a big halo around them. They'll have 10 people dressed up just to attract your attention, to impress you. They'll dress them up, they'll study how to influence other people, you see, such books. And they'll make these people look very attractive and very impressive. And they'll pass you through such big halls and big corridors and impress you with that, you see. And you'll be amazed. When you reach there, you'll find somebody sitting 7 steps ahead of you. You have to go and bow to the person without asking any question, and you'll do it. Because you will see all these things very, very much the same as you see if you have to go to see a king or you have to go to see some pope or somebody. That's how all these things are very impressive. But for God, it is not at all impressive. He can demolish all the wealth of the world and he can recreate it. For him, nothing is more impressive than your spirit. The spirit that is within. That's the most important thing. Not what country you come from, what race you come from, all these nonsensical differences do not exist in the realm of God. You are a seeker and your spirit has to be enlightened. So maybe today we've got Caxton Hall. Tomorrow maybe we could be sitting near a sea. Or maybe somewhere on a hill. We had a problem in Australia. We had so many people. We didn't know what to do. So we went to an open space, one of the parks you can say, and arrange the program. It does not matter where we have the program, how it is organized. Maybe it is a little bit disorganized sometimes, maybe it's a problem here and there. That's not important. You have to experience. The experience that is very beautifully organized within. Inside you are well organized. See that organization that is within you and not the organization that is outside. The thing that is within you, the beauty within you, you must see that and experience that and enjoy that. I hope it will work out with all the new people. I think most of them are already realized. And you all will have a deeper insight into yourself. And you will enjoy the bliss and joy of the spirit and feel the power of collective consciousness within you. This is all for the new people. But today I want to talk to old SahajaYogis also something about them. About the Saraswati power within us, which I have not yet talked to you so far because you are already using it too much. The power of Saraswati, can I have some water? This may also upset people that shoes are put up. You see, in England, people might think why to put up the shoes. But you see, they are supposed to respect even the shoes of a person who has vibrations, because there are lots of vibrations there. These are all things you have to gradually see why it is done. Not to get upset with things, but to understand how we have to respect divinity and the divine power within us and within others. You see. Now we have 3 powers within us, so that it will be also helpful to the people who have come for the first time. Is the one power which is starting from the right side, goes to the left side, is the power of desire. In SahajaYoga language, we call it is at the Mahakali power. These are also awakened within us. All these powers are awakened within us. Because whatever we desire, the desire comes true. After some time you find you do not desire anything that is not wanted. You only desire something that is for the good of your spirit and the spirit of others. That's only you desire. You reach that stage where you do not ask. In the beginning people do ask like things, Mother, my father is sick, will you look after him? Mother, my brother is wayward, he drinks, smokes, this, that, and can you look after him? Then something else like that. It is not bad, but it's not ultimate. But then you start asking, Mother, please give realization to people. Then you do not say, my brother, my sister. You start thinking about the whole. Then you may say, England. You see, come up to that point. Let England be awakened, Mother. Please try to help English people. Like that. Then it goes to the whole world, then to the whole universe. That's how you start expanding yourself. And your awareness starts expanding. The desires change. The priorities change. Absolutely you change your priorities. You see, you hanker after something. Especially the desires of your habits. People are used to certain habits. For example, some are smoking. You don't have to tell them don't smoke. Don't tell them. There's no need to tell them also it causes cancer or anything. Automatically they stop it. Overnight. I've known people who have been drunkards. Overnight they have stopped. The desire changes, the whole priority changes because it is enlightened. The power of desire is enlightened. But the another power which is enlightened within us is the right hand side power, is the power of action. The power of action is called as Mahasaraswati. We really act quite a lot by thinking, by planning, by physical exercise. Physically and mentally we are overactive, especially in the societies where we are supposed to be developed. We develop through using this power, the power of action. We act. And when we feel we have something surplus, we take to violence also, very easily. This power of action within us is absolutely exhausted as it is. That causes lots of problems. But because of your change of desire, the action also changes. The persons who were going to pub every night stop going there. They start doing something else, which is much more joyful and blissful. The desire changes the action automatically. But you can also change your action. But the subtle thing of the action is such that you realize that the power is flowing through your fingers. You realize that there's emission of power. You go to some place, suddenly you find there's a release of power. You find something is flowing out in that area. You find out what sort of area is this. You find that some great saint might have died there. Sometimes you go to some place and you find your hands are tingling. You don't like it. You ask them, what sort of a place is this? This is the place where people were murdered. This happened, that happened. People are very, very disturbed. There's no peace within them. So the action also changes. You change your movements. You go to places which make you happier. But the subtle side of the action is this, that the movement of these fingers, even the movement of your hand, the speech, the turning of your eye, everything is enlightened. You start growing with it. When you become subtler and subtler, you get to your principle. The principle that is the spirit. And once you reach your principle, you can reach the principle of anything. But for that, one has to develop the right side in a proper way. Is to use your hands properly. For example, you'll find many people raising the Kundalini like this. And many people have a very conventional ideas about things. For example, if a pope takes a child, puts it in his hand and puts some water from somewhere and makes it is baptized, everybody accepts it. Nobody has an objection for that. Or if a priest wears a funny type of a dress, which makes children frightened to begin with, or a donkey hat, nobody objects to that because it is accepted by all our norms. In Singapore, I was surprised that there is a pub down below and a temple on top. And run by the same organization is accepted. Nobody finds it funny. But if anybody says, I have to raise your Kundalini, just moves the hand. Oh, they're queer people, they're mad. According to the standard of the unrealized, they're mad people. Now, how do you raise the Kundalini? You can raise it with the attention. But it should not be done. Because the others should know that something has been done. Because people, unless and until they see something being done to them, they are not going to believe. Yesterday we had somebody who had bad eczema. Very bad eczema. All his hands were absolutely charred and horrible. Both the hands. And I asked him to put his hand towards me. Maybe he might have been cured only by putting his hands. But I had to make the mark of cross and the swastika on his hands. And it cleared out. It all became soft. So he saw me doing something. If I had said, all right, he'll be all right. It happens. With SahajaYogis, it's bad. But if I say that and if it happens, because attention is enlightened, it might be a coincidence. So you have to raise the Kundalini with your hand. So the person who raises can also see, as far as the hand moves, the Kundalini moves. You can feel it within your spine. You can see it in the spine of the another fellow. When you raise it, oh God, it's coming up, coming up. You see with your hand movement. And the others also can see this. And this is the action which one has to understand. When I say you have to give yourself a protection, a bondage, you have to give yourself a bandhan, your aura. You have to take your hand round and put it down like that and bring it down. When somebody does that, immediately people say, they are mad people, they are doing hands like this. I would compare it to Indian classical music. When an Indian classical musician sings, why not our only jazz music or this shaky music, when they take the thing in their hands and have you feel the other. They're going to break or you're going to break. It's the way they are, they go. So in the beginning it was a shock, to see what's happening. Is he alright? Is he gone mad or what is he doing about it? You could not accept it. It's the way it is really for old people like me. It was a shock to see the way people were holding on to it and and the other people were shaking their legs like this, some shaking like that, some were going like that, one was raising the head. But this is the first show I saw. I think about 65 when I came here. And just to entertain us, I don't know what got into their heads. Many ladies had also come. And they invited us to this place called the Stock of the Town, I believe. And there these ladies came and they were turning their legs on top of our heads, all the time. And we were looking, where up to what are they up to? They said, this is dancing. Oh, this is dancing. We couldn't believe that raising legs straight like that is a dance, According to Indian standards, it's not. In Indian standard, the dance cannot be with her long leg like that, raising up straight like that. This is exercise. According to Indian standard, it is exercise. Even for us, I mean the old people I'm saying. But the young people may accept this kind of a attitude because we had never seen, you see, such a dance where the ladies turn their legs on top of your head. And we saw this happening. And we were amazed. We said, what's this happening, And the whole thing filled us with such nausea, and we didn't know what was happening to us. I was so stunned. I mean, somebody should have taken our photographs, the way we were ignorant about it. In the same way, the people might find it little abnormal, the way we have to do the Kundalini awakening, though it's not so bad, you see, I must tell you. It's quite gracious. It acts very gracious. But one should not have fixed ideas also. You must keep yourself open to see that this is the work of the divine, and one has to raise that. Now, somebody might see Christ standing with a finger like that. It has a great meaning. What it means in SahajaYoga you can understand. In SahajaYoga you can understand what does this mean is his father. You know, those who know what are these fingers for, you will know what it means. He always pointed to these two fingers. That is his father, which he described. Everything that, now Buddha sitting with another kind of a pudra, somebody is doing like this, somebody that you don't understand why they did it. But we have accepted that part. We have accepted that, so we don't mind. But when this is a new thing that is happening to us, people do not want to accept. This was a very, very secret knowledge once upon a time. Just like you had only one king who had 7 wives, but nowadays everybody can have 21 if they want to. In the same way, in your inner being, you all are now capable of becoming kings. You are all capable of becoming great people. Outside you have lost, inside you have gained. Outside you have lost much, by thinking that all these wrong things that the so-called powerful people did was something to be achieved. That's how you have lost. But your spirit has gained. It has gained a lot because you realize now. You have reached that stage where you realize that it was a mistake. It was a mistake that we thought this kind of power is going to make us happy. This kind of thing is going to give us joy. Now you are realizing, all of us are realizing, that that was not the thing we asked for. It's a miserable state we have landed ourselves. And the inner joy has to be achieved, and you are just ready for it. So this action of within us has to be kept very clear. Now for SahajaYogis, as I say, there is no ritual. Ritualistic things always make you absolutely dead. There should not be like early in the morning you start with a mantra, go on repeating mantra like a mechanical thing. It's absolutely paying no respect to the day. But in a proper way, whichever deity you want to awaken, think of the deity, try to cleanse it with all understanding and deliberation, with respect, with a protocol. And not just to take somebody's name, just go on chanting any mantra you feel. It's not a mechanical. Some people just start doing it mechanically because they have done things before also mechanically. SahajaYoga is a thing which has to come from heart. It is heartfelt. If you do not do it from your heart, it has no meaning. You may carry on like that, but you'll find after some time you have lost your vibration. You have lost the cool breeze. Because heart doesn't like mechanical things. Every day it does new things. Like the living things, they are every day a new flower, a new star, a new method. It never sticks on to habits. It never sticks on to the same routine as thing. This way you come sometime, the other way you come sometime. It's bubbling every day with new appearance. And so the mechanical things that you do deaden this power of Saraswati. One has to do it with complete love towards yourself and towards others, with complete esteem of your being and the esteem of others. The whole behavior should be such. While I find some people are still taking to very childish behavior, and some are taking to very brutish behavior, SahajaYoga should be in the center. There's a difference between childish and childlike. You can be innocent like a child, but you are mature. You understand things. And the both things make a special dignified personality of such a person. All these things come to you from this right side power when you use it properly. Unless and until you have this properly established, you cannot impress other people by your behavior. Other people, new people who come to you, should see this majesty, this royalty within you, which you are enjoying as a bliss from God Almighty. May God bless you. Now I would like to have some questions from the new people. It's a good idea. Hello. Hello. They recognize me. Let them enjoy. Let them have their freedom. They know what to do. Whatever they do, they have a meaning. Can I have some questions?
Yes, the question was having to be born again. You mean you can be sick and then that's the period point in which you're born again after a great illness?
After?
A great illness or something like that. After a great illness, something which you thought that you were not going to be very long.
You mean to say after a great illness, can you be born again?
Well,
Yes,
yes.
yes, of course. Yes. Actually, when you are born again, you are cleansed completely. You get cured. We have cured cancer. Cancer is very easy to be cured by surgery. So many diseases are cured just as soon as the Kundalini comes up. It has a cleansing power. It cleanses your physical, your mental, your emotional being. It does cleanse, no doubt about it. It does, but it just does it because that's its job. Swabhava is the nature. That's the nature of Kundalini, that she cleanses.
Yeah, when I came here the last time, you did say I had something on my chest. Well, actually, I've been going to the university hospital and all about it, and they said there wasn't anything wrong with my chest. But when I came here, I was really, I couldn't even breathe. And you said there was something wrong with my chest, but the doctor never said that.
Yes. Now, you see, this is the thing, is doctors only know the physical side of human beings. They do not know the mental side. You see? And you'll be surprised that I found out even a disease like cancer starts from mental side. It's from the left side it starts. Now the doctors have accepted that there are some proteins within us which are placed in the areas which are unknown to us since our creation. And they attack us. So the problem you have had, doctors will say there's nothing wrong with it, till it manifests its physical side. So if there is any problem in your chest, we will know first and doctors will know much later. Maybe it would be so difficult that they may not be able to do anything about it. Now, the other day we had a boy who suffered from asthma, who could not be cured by anything. But it could be cured by surgery, because it not only caters to the physical side, but to the mental side. You don't have to go to a psychologist and to a doctor. Only your Kundalini does everything, and your spiritual problem. Like we had a telephone call from Australia, saying that there is one gentleman who has come from transcendental meditation, and he is behaving like an animal. He is growling, and he is making all kinds of noises, this and that. And he has been to doctors to show this, and the doctor said, we cannot cure the people who go to TM. Better ask TM people. He asked TM people, they said, you are stressing and you are taking out the stress and this and that. And he says, this is an eternal process. For the last 12 years I have been nothing but stressing out. And what am I stressing out? Nothing comes out, it is increasing. But on the phone I told him something which relieved him of his problem. So these things cannot be understood by doctors. Even the doctors have to come for this. The psychologists do not know about the physical side, and the physical doctors do not know about the psychology. When I said it to you, there must be some problem. And now if it is clear, we'll see about it. And you yourself will know. You yourself felt that way. Yes, it was there. But doctors won't be able to. So it's such a subtle thing. It finds out everything. Even before the trouble starts, you see, which is manifesting outside, you know it inside. Even the slightest of it. Even the slightest of it. Yes. What is it? Feeling of seeking.
When, hear somebody talking to doing a painting here, across here, in the board of the way. I, for one, feel like, hey, sensitive, when negative comments or anything negative and start negative, and sometimes that.
We feel terrible thing. Here is our attention in the stomach. It's the attention within us. And it's the principle of the Guru. It's the principle of the Master, the primordial Master. See, he's within us here. He's to be awakened. Now the guidance we take from others, you see, sometimes could be upsetting, that. Or the way we listen to some people. You see, some people talk, we just don't like it. It goes, you see, sometimes with me it is that even if I see somebody, I feel something is like that, you see. Yes, that sensitivity is a very good sign, and it can be corrected in SahajaYoga, that you can register it, but you do not feel that sense. You just register, of course. That sensitivity is not lost, but its impact is not so much. You just feel it, and you just say, it's catching on the void. That's all. Then you see that it is happening to another person, not to yourself. That's what happens to you after the realization. You get rid of all that. It's a very good sign to have that. It is, of course, it is. Yes, that's a very good sign. Very good sign that you are very sensitive about it. That means you are a seeker of ages.
Yes, I had a psychic operation on my kidney. I didn't know I had a done with kidney at the time. But I went to somebody and they told me that I had cancer in my kidney. Well, at the time, I was more dead than alive, and I didn't care about anything. But he decided to operate on me. He wasn't a doctor, he was a surgeon, and he took the cross out and he showed me. Well, I didn't know I had anything wrong with my kidney. But I had to see him for something else, and then he said I was
That's it.
sick before I go away, I must see him and get this thing done. That was in 1952.
That's what it is. That's what, without seeing how you do, how can you say? And you must see. You must see for yourself. This is what is Sahaja, in which you have to see. And the knowledge that comes to you is so much clear-cut. But first you don't believe it. You just can't believe it. It's so fantastic. Just don't believe it. But like this lady says, now she goes and tells somebody about this. They'll say, oh, this woman, either they'll say she's mad, or they'll say that she needs psychological treatment, or they'll say, forget it. Nobody's going to believe you, see, because they don't have this problem. You see, that's it. Unless and until you see it, you are not going to see it. That's very true. What you say is true. Unless and until you see it, how are you going to believe? Any other question?
At the same time, when that happened, I didn't go for my kidney. I went because I didn't eat for 7 days, and I lost some over 50 pounds, and I felt as though I wouldn't live for the other day. And somebody dragged me off this person. And I was sitting beside on a chair on the right and the left hand side of them, and I said I shouldn't be afraid, I'll be better. And then my bones really rattled like a drum. And I was better. And he said, well, one of the saints was there with Caxton. And what happened to me was not going to happen to me then, because it was something with evil and black magic. and I was through what he said within a couple of days, and I thought I'd overlived for the time I felt his effect. So then, of late, what happened to me was just that you say the site expensive. I was losing my hair, but that has got better now. And the site expensive were all damaged. That expensive we got there. Well, I didn't know at the time they were doing anything like this. I didn't. Since 1952, I saw him once and I never been back to see him. Well, he was here, he's in Gordon. So I didn't have any connection here. I didn't know you outside these people here. And then I thought that I was going away. And, but at the same time, this pain that he said would look after me from such a thing, I thought it was all nonsense. Because I said, if I got a thing looking after me, how could such things happen to me when a thing is looking after me? So I thought I was in a way. And again, I had no problem with the law, prosecution, really. It's diabolical. And I think that if I had a thing looking after me, they could really kick against me. Then I went through for a long time until somebody said, yes, you're wondering about this spiritualist affairs and the faith if they are any value. I said, yes, but he said, well, there's somebody here, and they're saying, yes, they are valued, but the master had it. Forbid him not to intervene. It's something I had to learn. And then things start getting straight up. So then with the faith and the spirit and fight, you know, it's not something dead, but alive.
Yeah. So then now, how are you feeling now?
Well, I still, one of the problems I had is that this thing brought me down. I think that I must have got poison somewhere with some germs or something that was on my chest when I came here.
No, it was something else, you see, which you will know gradually what it was, and it has to be cleared out. It's not a germ. It's from the left side, you are getting it from the back here. It's a center, this yellow center you see here has two sides, right and left. It moves on both the sides. And on the left side is a center which we call as left Swadhisthana. We call it left Swadhisthana. It's the center, and which is for black magic. You see, when people do any black magic on you, you get a problem. And naturally, when it starts manifesting, it affects the kidney because it's very close to the kidney. So first it starts as a black magic thing, and then when we raise the Kundalini, it was pushed up to here and it would not get out from there. You see? So the thing is, it moves also. You can feel the movement of it. After some time, you see, if it is not gone, you feel it's here, it's here, it's here, the thing starts moving. And doctors may say you better take B complex, you see, to get rid of it. But you cannot. It's a spirit. It's a spirit that moves. And once it starts moving, we know how to take it out and how to work it out. So there are ways and methods by which we really take it out. There is a force, a satanic force, that does all these things. It's a fact. He has felt you. He has sensitivity. You must be that sensitive to us. See, on the stomach. Because your stomach is weak, they know how to work, where to go. Look, I'm so interested in that. That is the center of security. And if it is blocked, you get problems like breast problems and things like that, and also breathing sometimes with it. It's a sense of security, and there's a deity there. It's a deity which is the mother of the universe. See? And you have to awaken her. If she's awakened, then you don't have this problem. It's very simple. Are you feeling the cool breeze?
Yes, my fingers at times, they really get as though electricity is flowing through them. Feel it.
Just put your hand towards you. There's something like that.
Yes, and I was thinking that something blocked in me.
Now, all of you, just put your hands towards me, like close your eyes. Put both the legs straight on the ground. Straight on the ground. Just like. But as I told you, that even if you get realization, that doesn't mean that you have achieved. You have to establish it, which is very important, because the whole thing is a transformation. And to establish it, it takes time. So just coming today, getting realization, finishing off is of no help to you. It's wastage of time for me and for you also. And again you will come back with a greater problem. Because once you are realized, you must establish. You must establish is an essential part of the whole thing.